I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this shit.
The sickest snipe ever.
Is this?
What are we doing?
No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Sarah, first-time Call Guys guest, dog mom, and podcast wife. And Vanilla Thunder, let me tell you, being a podcast wife means you never see your husband.
I just want you to know that your husband is technically second in command of the entire empire, and he is not the one who's cleaning every ship. But let me tell you, he's right next to the emperor doing his bidding.
Oh, I know. He's always editing and
Gunner,
podcasting.
Hey, Gunner, you got my socials?
I do.
Hard. Yeah, that's exactly what you say every time.
I do.
No backbone to the emperor.
I'm surprised it's not like, hey, you got the mop and bucket and all the cleaning supplies so you can come clean the studio and
hey, do you got the harness? You got the harness to carry this podcast? I mean this ship. I mean this episode. I mean you got my socials?
Facts.
I got the socials. I always got the socials.
He's good.
I mean, I got them. Socials.
I tried to take them, but I think because I took too long and I suck at them. And
well, don't worry, you're doing it. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Mic drop.
That's just the way it is.
Well, you could definitely tell that I wrote that intro for Sarah. All this past week, I've been like, Sarah, you're gonna do the intro. You're gonna do the intro. She's like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, yeah, you are. I was like, I'll even write it for you. So she did. She read it off, which is okay. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
You did a really good job.
Thank you.
I like it. Yeah.
Proud.
She might have helped me write it. I didn't do it.
Whoa.
Didn't do it, all by myself. But
Fitty marriage is fitty.
marriage is 50-50. That's right.
Amen. So who do we got on here, Gunner? Who's this?
Who is this? This is my wife. This is Sarah K. Golden. I know that we all call her by Mills Golden because Mills is her maiden name. She doesn't really listen to the podcast.
I do.
Shame.
I think there was
Shame. If I had a bell, I'd shame. Shame.
There was a 1 week I missed. Okay, but ever since then, I'm a listener.
I don't know that I believe that.
I do. Because Gunnar plays it every week, and I listen then. But then I also listen Monday morning, so he gets his one download from me.
The one download. You got to get that download. It's important.
That's right.
It's important.
Support.
But yeah, so Sarah has been a long time listener.
Let's go.
For the most part. And obviously she's my wife. So when we, talked about doing our top 5 Disney films, which is what this episode is she was like, I want to do that episode. So here she is. And we're going to do our top 5 Disney episodes. Everybody, I want to thank you for listening. And this is episode 40. You believe that? We're 10 episodes away from The Emperor Strikes Back. And if you heard, well, actually, Colton has some heat. I'm sure that's going to be coming that episode. So I guess be excited for that because it's probably going to be a long episode and it's going to be a lot of back and forth. So I'm excited for it too. But
let me stop you right there. We got to stop the brakes right here, and we got to address something from the Indiana Chiefs fans podcast. Okay, that's what we need to do right here. Okay, all right. First things first. Gunner and I have a pre-production meeting every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
That is my day to call Gunner on my way home from work, and we talk pretty much the whole way till I get home, which is anywhere from I don't know 45 to 55 minutes.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And he told me this Wednesday, which is the 14th, that, hey man, watch out. The Indiana Chiefs came at you. Okay. So listen, be ready, be prepared. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this. Jeremy's always got to have someone to dog on. Okay. I gave you all the bum from Cleveland in the dumpster fire, and y'all can't get him right. So you know what you do? You come after me and my pitiful bears. So here I am. First things first, when Gunner tells me that his dad blows me up, that's a lie. That's a lie. Because you know who really is doing it? You, Gunner, it's you. You are the one who's throwing me under the bus every time. The last 2 weeks, you have said, "Hey, man, my dad really blows you up this week. Really blows you up." And you know who's getting the nice little side jabs with the knife in the gut? It's you.
I did a
So
good one.
here
I
I
did a good one
am.
this week.
You guys, yeah, let's hear it. Come on.
Yes,
I'm right
okay,
here. Say it to my
so
face.
let me just give context. The Emperor's talking up Colton. We're talking about Colton about a jockstrap. He's carrying the jockstrap because he's carrying my jockstrap is pretty much what he was saying at this point. And he said the whole jockstrap conversation. He says he wear it as a hat. No, it's more like he's wearing it like a Bane mask. I was like,
Then he proceeds. Yes.
like sweaty balls in here. It was funny in the moment.
So yeah. I'm take shots at my Bears. We're supposed to be down here in the cellar, okay? We're supposed to be getting a top 3 draft pick, which we are currently in the position to do right now, with the hardest schedule left in the season. Not the easiest schedule left in the season, Kansas City Chiefs. Okay? But it's okay. It's okay. Keep dogging on the Bears. Keep telling us we're trash. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Good luck beating Cincinnati again in the playoffs, because it's been how long now? They just have your number. So it's only a matter of time. So I don't really want to ride that bandwagon of, Cincinnati, blah, 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 because you're going to beat them eventually. And then it's just going to be thrown back in my face and how good the Kansas City Chiefs are. Oh, Joey Burrow sucks. Patrick Mahomes is great. How many, Gunner, your homework, your to-do list is I want you to look up the interceptions thrown by the one Joshua Allen. And then what I want you to do is look up the total of interceptions thrown by the Patrick effing Mahomes. Okay? Do that. That's your homework. Okay?
I got you.
That's all.
I got you.
Okay.
I'll do it. Do I need to bring it up next episode?
You sure do.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of listening to those you 3 bozos,
Why? I'm now a bozo.
Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Okay? I'm not taking it no more from you. Okay? So when the Kansas City Chiefs want a shot at the champ, they're getting shots back, okay? Because I ain't scared of none of you 3. I'll make the trip to Etna.
Be driving
Oh, man, there was something else. Hey, what time? What time? When do you guys record? You guys do it Wednesday or no, Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday. Oh, so your dad he needs that full day of coming up with something good to get me with between Monday and Tuesday, and I just have an afternoon to get something good for him. Okay, I see how that works. Okay. Don't worry, Emperor. I'm right here. I'm ready for you. Anytime, any place.
Do I need to do another boxing match?
Yes,
that was funny though.
That was great.
I will. Now that we will digress from this Indiana Chiefs fans conversation, I do want to thank Chris and Tony for last week's episode. I really think it was a good conversation about Andor. Andor. Yes. I think Tony did a really good job. He had some really funny one-liners off the start of like a conversation. So I would love to have him back, and I know we talked about having him back already. So hopefully here, I don't know, a couple episodes down the road, maybe a little further, we'll have him back. Would really like to go do an escape room again with him too. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's set up for the 50 for our 1-year episode.
Oh yeah, 52.
Yeah. So in our 52 episode, and Sarah now is technically going to be involved in it some way, shape, or form.
That's right.
Yay.
She's so excited.
I know. Get excited, and love to get some of the emailers and listeners out there. So if you really want to be a part of our 1-year episode, hit us up at the Call Guys hit us up at on our email at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
And we'll see if we can squeeze you in there. We're pretty much going to make it like a phone call conversation, and I think it's going to be. I think we got a really good idea for it. So
yeah.
I'm kind of excited for it. So we're trying to do it with past guests that we've had, maybe some future guests, some emailers. So yeah, if you want a shot at me, send us an email at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com, and you could have your 15 minutes of fame at the champ.
15 minutes. I would love anybody ever. I mean, we've had plenty of emailers. We've got Ian and Coach, and we've got ISO Cam. I'd love to get him on here just to meet him.
Yeah.
Man, and Chris and Sarah now, and the Emperor, and Sid, and
Did you
Conrad
say
John,
Snake?
and Snake.
Ooh.
Yeah, we get Conrad John on for a little 15-minute little
Dude, we could
snippet.
just
That'd be
talk. We
cool.
just talk Eagles the whole time.
Oh yeah, at this point now he's all pumped.
Oh,
All
he's
day. All I see are posts about the Eagles and posts about music and all this stuff that he's got coming out. So
they're about to take an L this weekend. You know why, Sarah? You know why?
Why?
You know why? You know why, Sarah? Sarah, guess why? Guess what? Guess what, Sarah? Guess what, Sarah? It's because the Bears are coming to town.
the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
All right. We digress, Colton. I need you to calm down. I need you to bring it from here to the bottom here.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
He's just really excited about the Bears.
Well, we got a new lead host, so she's calling the shots. So
We need to lose 4 games. Okay, that's it. That's enough. That's enough.
yeah, you can get
We
that
need the Broncos to
draft
win.
pick.
That's enough. That's enough. I'm done. I'm done.
Number
I'm-
one draft
I'm
pick.
done.
Number one draft pick. Number one.
Oh
Draft
God, we're not the Texans. We're not that bad.
Sarah,
But I'm done. No more football talk.
Colton, Sarah.
What,
How's
Sarah?
your week? How were your weeks? How was both of your week? how do you pluralize that statement?
I think you just put an S with an apostrophe at the end.
How's your
Yeah.
week going?
Good.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
Mine was good. Mine was really good. I just got back from Miami. So Monday was catching up on all the work that we missed as a whole department. It's an HR department. There's a lot of work. So it was good. So I've been catching up on that and then doing some Christmas shopping when I'm not busy.
Christmas shopping.
Christmas.
Nice. I heard you don't have enough Christmas stuff at the house, Sarah. Is that true? Yes or no?
Oh, you never have enough Christmas stuff. Listen, like after we went to Walmart last night, and I asked Gunnar, I was like, "Hey, when Christmas is done, everything is half off. Everything's like on clearance." And I was like, "Can we go to Walmart afterwards and go crazy and buy stuff?" He said yes.
Oh, big
So-
mistake, Gunnar.
Yes.
Big
we-
mistake.
We will be shopping, but I feel like you never have enough Christmas stuff, and there's always something new you can add. So. And we had a smaller house and we went to a bigger house, so you have to fill the space. So
That's a good point. That is
Mhm.
that is a good point. You do have a ginormous house now.
Yeah.
And,
you're feeling it.
Yeah. It's so true. Actually, that's what we're gonna do. Our Christmas tree, we have a fake pre-lit tree, and it is starting to go out after 5 years. So my wife and her, great thinking, when we first bought this house, she got that Christmas tree after Christmas, a regular like $250 tree for like $100.
Nice.
And it lasted us for like 5 years. And I'm thinking, those 5 years of not going to a tree farm and dealing with all that hassle and all that stuff and maintaining the tree, then getting rid of the tree, I'm not upset. I think it's a great investment. 25.
Oh yeah. 5 years for an expensive tree that was discounted that much? Heck yeah.
Mhm.
Heck yeah.
I don't
Definitely
think
worth the
I've
$20 a year.
I've never had a Christmas tree.
Oh, what?
A real Christmas tree.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. We used to have them, like growing up, we had them all the time. And then when my mom got sick, or right before my mom got sick, my mom, we got tired of doing the tree. So my mom got this like little 3-foot tree we put on a TV stand. And we just started using that just so no one was home and
Nice.
this, that, and the other. So yeah, no, my week's been good. Just working, staying busy at work, selling stuff, and just
Selling
keep on
stuff.
keeping on. It's getting colder out there, so getting
That
busier
is-
and busier.
That is I think that's Colton's tagline. It's getting colder out there.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
need
it
we need a
is.
call guy shirt that says winter is coming just with Colton on it. It's getting in on the back
Oh
with it
my
says
gosh.
it's older out there. The call guys podcast at gmail.com.
Speaking of colder, I was listening to the Two Stop episode this week, and they were talking about how they can live without. They need the AC year round. One of them, I can't remember his name right now.
Bose.
Bose, yeah. I wanted to say Mose, but I know that wasn't right. So
That's
Bose,
Ned's declassified, yeah.
yeah. Bose AC went out, and he's like, yeah, I can wait. And then, of course it gets 85 there and, you need your AC. Good Lord. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. How terrible is that?
85
They talk
here
about how
during the
you
summer. Open the
could
window,
guess, you could guess. They're like, yeah, you could guess a couple nights with no heat. That's fine, but you can't go without that AC. And I kind of get that, but I mean, don't talk to me about 50 being cold. I don't care if you're acclimated to it. Just say it gets, it cools off.
Yeah.
Don't say it gets cold. It cools off. Okay, so you
Cools down.
Texas people, I don't want to hear about it. Okay, you don't know cold. You don't understand cold. Logan, on the other hand, he does. He understands it, but the
Yeah.
mother Texas boys, they don't.
Yeah, the ones that have experienced the negative temperatures in the dead of winter.
I do have to say though, so I grew up in Florida and I never owned a coat, but 50 degrees was freezing growing up.
So I can only piggyback off this, Sarah, because when I lived in Florida, I don't know where you lived in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was 45 minutes north of Orlando. So same area, I'd call it central Florida. And I remember because I was there during the winter months, and I remember we were doing stuff. It'd be like 55 to 65 degrees at night there. And people are in like winter coats, hats, gloves, and I'm in like shorts and a sweatshirt. And I'm like, this is fantastic. But I'm telling you, by the time it came to like February, I was thinking, yeah, I think it's time to wear jeans and a sweatshirt when it's out here. I mean, it's weird. It's weird how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever really understood that
Yeah.
at all. I mean, obviously, I haven't lived in a warm climate. I've been to warm climates, and during the you go down there, and when you leave here, you're wearing a jacket and jeans and a sweatshirt, and when you get down there, you're like, all right, it's time for shorts and a t-shirt, and then you fly back home, and you're like, crap, did I remember to repack my winter gear? You land at the airport, and it's like layer of ice.
Yeah. You're not used to it.
No, not at all. Well, that's good. Glad you guys had a good week.
How about
What
you?
about you, brother?
Oh, it's been a great week. It has.
Great. What made it so great?
Oh, yeah. She points at herself because she does make it better. I had a weird moment on Tuesday where I just like lost my mind. Like I couldn't think of any. Like it just like came unattached from my body, and like I'm sitting here on the couch and I just lost everything for like what 2 hours probably.
Yeah, he didn't eat dinner. And that was when it was really weird.
Yeah, I just like kind of
Yeah.
sat here, and it was weird. I don't know if I was just overwhelmed or like I don't know. It was weird, and I just kind of relaxed, took a shower, and then I was better. And it's been better since then. But I guess I'm just overwhelmed. It's Christmas, man. It's the season of overwhelmingness.
Magical.
Yeah. But I'm better now. It's been a good week.
Nice.
I've had some good experiences at work this week, so can't go wrong with that. I've been doing some more physical work this week, which has been odd compared to what I've been doing now. So building tables and stuff, and yeah,
How have you survived?
I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, but no, yeah, it's been good. I'm glad to be back here on the Call Guys podcast. I'm glad we're here for episode 40.
40.
We're just knocking them out, Sarah. 12 episodes. We've been at a year.
Oh, I know. I never see you.
Well, now that this is our life. This is our life. I get up early. I go to work. I mean, I'm up at 4:30. Get to work at 6, and then I'm home. And she works from home, so she's home, and she works till 5. So I get home at 3 o'clock, and then she's working till 5. So I just kind of like mosey around the house. And what can I clean or what can I do? What are we having for dinner? So I'm like doing all this stuff around the house. Then she gets done with work, and she's like, what are we doing? It's like a never ending, like I'm already ready to wind down when she gets off work because I've already done a bunch of stuff. So it's like, I don't want to do anything at this point.
That is a sad thing about working home is you don't get that wind down time. Like it used to be my drive home from work it was about half an hour and I would just sit in silence the whole way home and it'd be my wind down time where my
Could have been listening to the Call Guys podcast.
I do, yes. But my mind can wind down and relax from a long day at work. But now that I'm working from home, it's weird. I don't get that anymore. So it's kind of bizarre. I'm always like on the go.
Yeah. And that's the story of our lives. There you go, everybody. Welcome to the Call Guys relationships episode. We're gonna talk about our marriages and
How we can fix yours.
where's Bree? Bring her down.
We did actually just celebrate yesterday, the 14th was 6 years of
Yeah.
us being together. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
You put up with me for 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And then 3 years ago we got engaged.
Yep.
Been wild.
I just thought of something.
What?
I'll tell you later. It's I
Okay.
can't say it. I can't say it.
Don't say it on
Can't
the
say
air.
it.
All right. Well, Colton, do we have any emails?
We do. First things first, let's get to the real email. We got one from ISO Cam or Cameron or Cam or ISO or however he wants to go by. I don't know. But ISO Cam emailed us back. This is great. I love this.
Yeah.
Here it is. Literally, it starts out like this. Here it is, 2:29 a.m. And I think, man, I want to watch Diary of a Wimping Kid. Let's email the mother effing call guys. My top 3 kids movie series easily. And this was set at 2:32 a.m. So he got on it.
Yep.
Number 1, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Probably in my most rewatchable series of all time. I just love it. 10 out of 10 book to movie adaptation. That's a little sneak preview for an upcoming episode with Gunnar. What's the name of that? Your brother's the Skywalker's podcast. Court of Books, a booze. Yes. So that I'll see if that's on there. Anybody's list there. Number 2 is Ice Age. I mean, just a masterpiece that every kid should love. If they don't, you're probably a sociopath.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. My kid loves it, so I don't have to worry about that. Number 3 is Ace Ventura minus the movie with the kid playing the pet detective. Sorry, kid, you can't have Jim's spotlight. Just incredible films, if I do say so myself. And that's it. ISOCAM, thanks again for the email. I'm just glad you just email us when it hits you. So thanks for taking the time out of your night or morning. I don't know. So we're gonna go with morning. So just thanks for that time, and keep emailing us, and hopefully we can get you on here sometime, just so we get to know you a little bit better. So
yeah, we'll have to shoot him an email about episode 52.
We
if
should.
He's listening, Cam, send us an email if you want to.
Cam, let us know if you want to get a part of that. So, and another thing I want to add is the inspiration of episode 40, the Disney episode, comes from
Arian,
a longtime emailer. So thank you, Arian, for this idea, and that we are finally following through with it.
Yes.
Yeah, and there we are. Those are the emails. That's all I got for you, brother.
Nice, very nice. So, Sarah, let's move on to something that you brought for the episode. The one thing that the Call Guys podcast is considered, which is called the question of the podcast.
Question of the podcast. What is something that is on your bucket list?
Bucket list question. I guess the first question about a bucket list is, do you believe in a bucket list?
I do. I think it's good. I mean, maybe not fully stick it and your life depends on the specific bucket list. Maybe it can change throughout your life, but I always think it's a good idea to have a list of things that you want to do in your lifetime before you die, just to imagine and be creative and live your life.
Okay.
Life is too short.
Okay. Colton?
Okay, Gunnar. Yeah, we're gonna focus on your question here. What is somebody who doesn't have a bucket list? What does that mean?
Like here, like people say that they don't like. Why would they need a bucket? Like, why would they need a bucket list? What's the point in it? I think it is important to have a list of things that you can look forward to trying to do. I have never written down things, but like they're always in your head, in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to skydive, I'd like to scuba dive, I'd like to hang glide, like to try to fly an airplane, just like things like that. Like, I don't know. What's your answer, Golden? You got an answer?
I think my thing is that I could talk myself out of anything that I would want to do. I would love to go skydiving. Holy crap, but getting up there, getting me to get up there. I don't think the problem would be getting out of the plane. My problem would be getting into the plane and then going up.
Yeah.
Like once I'm up there, it's go time. No worries. But get me to walk onto the plane for it to go up, that would be the issue. Because at that point in time, I am processing everything in my mind. Like, hey, once we get up here, this is go time. No, there's no go. There is just go.
Yeah.
I'd love to swim with sharks, but sharks are sharks. I would be scared to death to be in a shark, like in the, you know how they have those tanks that you're in and they drop you in there. No, I couldn't do that. I would be scared to death, but I would love to do that.
Nice. That's good.
So stuff like that, that's like kind of my stuff is, yeah, I do that, but then I could easily talk myself out of it when the time came.
I think I have the same problem. I watched my mom skydive. I don't remember what birthday it was she did it, but she did it, and we all went watched her do it. And when she was doing it, I'm like, you know what? I would love to do that one day. I think to myself, like even getting on a plane to fly somewhere, you get nervous, right? Like you're nervous to do it, and I don't know that I could like jump out. I love seeing the view. I love going up and seeing all of the plots of land from the sky and going above the clouds, right? I just don't know that I could jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Now somebody could I'd have to tandem to do it the first time, right? Like
Well, I think you have to have so many jumps
before you can do it by yourself.
Before you can do it by yourself, yeah.
Yeah. But I think tandem wise I'd be able to do it and be trained to do it. Skydiving would be a bucket list. Other than that, I don't know. There's so many like seven wonders of the world. Like I want to see all, like things like that. Like as a kid, Stonehenge is always so interesting. I'd love to go see Stonehenge. I'd love to see the Grand Canyon. I'd love to go to Mount Everest. Not climb Mount Everest, but just to see it, right? And I don't know, stuff like that.
Travel.
Yeah. You?
What about you, Sarah?
Mine not as adrenaline like or anything. Mine's very simple. I would love to one day open up my own photography store or business. Maybe not like a business or anything, but just kind of sell photography, I guess. Something I've always been interested in since middle school, and it's still a hobby of mine, and I think one day maybe make a profit out of it.
We have awesome pictures, Sarah's. That it's a railroad track it's like an old bridge, and she framed it. It's a huge picture, and I keep thinking in this house where I want to hang that picture because it's a super good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Good question.
Good question. Thank you.
Everybody, send us your answers. thecallguys@gmail.com. What's on your bucket list that you want to do, and how can we make it happen? Not that I'm gonna take you to do it. How can I talk? How can I talk you into making it happen? And maybe we can hop in the car and I'll drive you somewhere. You never know. Don't laugh at me, Colton.
It's too late. How can we make it happen? I don't know, Gunner. You tell me.
We'd find a way.
We probably would.
Colton, you can email too, and we'll get one of yours done. We'll get one of yours done. I do have a couple things I want to hit on. We ended our episode last week, so go check that out if you watched the show. If you haven't watched the show, you can listen to it anyways. I did put a really cool warning plug in there, so you'll know right when we're about to talk about it. Also, Avatar, Way of the Water. I say the Way of Water. It's Way of the Water. That comes out at the night we are recording this. So if you're going out opening weekend, be safe out there. Hopefully you enjoy the movie. Every theater and the theater we are going to is packed
Full.
So should be interesting. As everybody knows, I'm not a huge fan of the first one. Sarah loves the first one.
I do.
But I don't know. It's just Black Panther Wakanda Forever again. So it's the trailers are identical.
Yeah, it's got a lot. I feel like it's got a lot of the same plot lines.
I feel that. It's very, very similar. Other than that, the Santa Clauses, the last episode came out this past week, so go check that out. I really enjoyed the show as a whole.
It was cute.
It was a great addition to something to watch at Christmas, along with the 3 Santa Claus movies. And I love how the tie-ins back to the movies. It was awesome. Expect more of that on next week's episode when we talk about Christmas stuff. And you have anything else that came out? Colton, have you been watching anything?
No, I mean I watched. We just finished the Santa Clauses.
Nice.
That's kind of been what we've been watching. Once we got done with Wednesday, have you guys watched that yet?
We have not. We're still in the middle of Buffy trying to get that cleared up. So we don't want to dip our hands in too many buckets here. So although one season of Wednesday might be doable, maybe we'll do.
It's only one season. It's like 8 episodes.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Yeah,
You should do that.
What did Tusop say? It makes you fall in love with a floating hand.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if I go that far, but yeah. Like I was not expecting to like the show. I was afraid it was going to try too hard, and it was the exact opposite of what I thought it was going to be.
Gotcha.
And so I was really, really thrilled by it. And like I said, it's like a crime series, and it's a whodunit, and those things already got me hooked. So I thought they did a really good job of somewhat expanding the Addams universe, whatever that means, but it gives a little bit more backdrop on the parents.
The AFCU, the Addams Family Cinematic Universe.
Cinematic.
Nice. Very nice.
My.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to get into our top 5 Disney movies? Now, I do want to do a disclaimer. If you're ready.
Yeah.
Colton, you ready?
Sure.
He's ready. Disclaimer is that we decided to go with no Pixar movies for this because we are going to do an episode on Pixar here in the future. So everything that we're going to talk about is Disney releases. There's no Pixar. Now you can do live action. It doesn't have to be all animated. So I'm excited to hear where we go with this because there are a ton of Disney movies between 1920 and today. So there's pretty much, I would say thousands, but I don't know if there's thousands, but there's hundreds of movies to choose from. So hopefully we're all over the place. So typical Call Guys fashion, 5, 4, 3, 2, honorable mentions. 1, Sarah's reading my list off my computer and cheating.
No.
We're gonna let you go first, Sarah. Is that all right, Cole?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, brother.
Okay. Well, my number 5 is a little newer. It came out in 2016, and it is Moana. I just really liked it.
You just really liked it.
That's
Really
it.
liked it. I like the story. I mean, it's a little bit of a musical. There are some songs, but I think the storyline was fabulous. It made me cry. But I mean,
Oh god, every movie on your list probably makes you cry.
I think literally every movie makes me cry.
Is every movie her number 2, Gunner?
Yes.
Pretty much. No, I thought it was just beautiful the way that they did it start to finish. I mean, it's not even a Disney princess movie, I think, technically.
I mean, you could kind of call her a princess.
But yeah, I think she's in the category of Disney princesses because I think her dad is the king.
Ruler.
He's the chief.
Chief, thank you. So yeah, I'd say she's technically a princess, but
Yeah, she's technically a princess.
Cheesy, and there's songs, and there's a crazy old lady, but the old grandma. But I think it was really well done. It had a really great story, and yeah, it did make me cry. So those are on my top 5 movies.
I love Moana.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Favorite song?
well, obviously the rock song. It's not You're Welcome.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, it's okay to say you're welcome.
Yeah, great song. I mean, it's a catchy song. It's stuck in your head.
Pulled from the sea.
Yeah,
it
do
is.
you have
I'll
a
give you
weird
that.
one? Do you have a weird one? Like one that most people wouldn't say is their favorite song?
Nope, I would say "You're Welcome" is
Yeah,
my
I
favorite
think-
song as
I
well.
think it's like the hit song on the.
It's
I do like
funny.
the intro song to that movie.
The one where like she's going from her childhood.
Yeah,
to
she's going from a
adult.
little girl to the age she is now.
Mhm.
I can't think of the name of that song.
I will say that the backstory of the whole movie, and them showing her growing up and then to where she is now, and seeing all the stuff with the water and all like it's just it all ties together. Great story. I mean, really, you hit it on the nose.
It's a movie that I can always sit down and watch no matter where I am in the story, and I know what's going on, and I think that it's just a fabulous movie. It tells a story about a girl who can do it herself, which I think is, I mean, came out in 2016. It wasn't that long ago. So I think it's a really powerful story to tell that you don't need anybody. I mean, help is always a good thing. It's always a bonus, but doing it yourself, you can always be that person to do it.
Nice, very nice.
Mhm.
Number 5, way to start it off.
Thank you.
Colton.
I've got all they're all pretty old movies on my list. My number 5 is a 1970s flick. I remember watching it all the time with my sisters. I love it for the music, and there's not that many songs on it. A classic called The Aristocats.
Yes.
Love that movie. Everybody. I love jazz. So when they meet the Alley Cats and they're, that song, I love that beat. I love that sound. That song is great. Everybody wants to be a cat because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Nice.
Yeah, I just love the story of of this old lady leaving a fortune to her cats and the butler being pissed about it. Because who in their right mind, if they're the butler, wouldn't do the exact same thing other than literally putting them down? I don't know. I'd be thinking it. I'd think it. I wouldn't have gone through the trouble he went through. No. I would have ran him over, staged it, say I found him, be done.
I found the cat's tire marks. I don't know what happened.
Man, this is back in like the 50s or the 20s. I can't remember how this movie when this movie starts, but there ain't no way they're gonna be able to find that out. You just clean that tire off, you'll be fine.
It's been a long time since I've watched that movie. Long time.
Me too.
Good movie.
I think one of my favorite things about it now is my wife one day was going through Facebook Reels and she found this one of the very beginning of playing the piano part. Marie was playing the piano part, and it was actually a Lizzo song that they dubbed to that scene, and it was fantastic. I would it's been a while, but if you could find that, it was pretty good.
Okay.
So that was kind of nice to see it get see that movie be brought into kind of like the new age, and probably kids didn't go see the movie or know what the heck that was, but now they're gonna know it as the Lizzo meme song. So
yeah, how to make old movies famous again.
yeah,
memes. Exactly. Nice.
So yeah, that's my number 5, man. What's your number 5, Gunnar?
I have a prop for my number 5.
What?
I have a prop.
Okay.
He's a girl. My number 5, 1991. One of the greatest stories to me for an animated film. Beauty and the I would also say probably one of the best live action adaptations that Disney has done. And we've kind of talked about that before.
Yeah.
Overall, just, it's just a great story. And the characters, to me, just very unforgettable. Lumiere, Cogsworth, Chip, Mrs. Potts. Like, you get all these characters. And for some reason, when I watch the animated version, it makes me think of The Wizard of Oz. Because you get the characters that are turned into something else, like the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion, right? So you kind of get that same feel because all of these people have changed into everyday household or castle hold items. And I don't know. The Beast is just a character that you relate with and you want him to be the good guy, but he's also, you feel like he is the bad guy. And then obviously Gaston and LeFou, two awesome characters that end up being the actual villains. Although LeFou kind of really isn't a villain, he's Dark Relief. Great movie. I always enjoyed it. I can always go back and watch it. I can always go back and watch the live action one. Always enjoyed
Favorite
it.
song? We got a favorite song?
Be Our Guest, of course. Of course.
My wife loves that song.
Yes. And yes, I did have to bring a little backstory on Lumiere here. If you're watching the YouTube, he does light up. But poor Lumiere has been dropped twice. And in our travels back from Disney, because we did get him at Disney, he broke in our luggage. And then when Jared was unpacking a tote that we had when we moved in the new house, Jared dropped him. So both of his arms have been gorilla glued. Completely. Poor guy. And one doesn't light up. So it's like the curse is not being lifted and he's starting to go out. Kind of sad.
The curse. That's great.
And his head's a little loose. Yes, poor Lumiere. But yeah, my number, Beauty and the Beast.
Nice.
I have
Okay.
more to say on that, but later.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. What's your number 4?
Okay, Sarah, what is your number 4?
Did you give yours? Yeah, you did. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, Sarah, wake up.
Okay.
Too many glasses of wine over here.
My number 4 is also a little bit older. It came out in 2006 and it's a school musical. And
it's a little bit older. It's 2006.
2006. If that movie
Sarah,
was made today, it would not do so well. But for the time,
Oh no, it would do great today.
well, they came out with a series too. I think not that long ago. But
correct.
the original movie, I watched it not that long ago, and oh my gosh, it is just cringe.
It doesn't hold up.
No, not at all.
But it's in your top 5.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
kind of
good.
weird.
It is. It is a little weird, but the first,
Nostalgic at this
yes,
point.
very much so. The first movie, phenomenal. The second movie, so different, but also phenomenal. I think the third one came out I wrote it down 2008, and not as good, I think, but still pretty up there. But the first one, the original, all just blows my mind. It was good. I remember we would when they first came out with the movie, a little bit later, months down the line, when they would replay the movie, they did the sing-alongs, and the whole cast would gather in like those weird little rooms, and they'd be like, okay, this is the dance to this one song and get ready for it. So when they actually play the scene, you know the dance. And I think that was genius. And I don't know if they do that anymore. I don't think they do, but for that time that it came out, 2006, that was not good. So it was phenomenal.
I will say I do remember it was at the time we were staying at my Nana's house and my mom was watching her. My mom slept on like a day bed stairs because she had to be there for whenever my Nana needed something. So when High School Musical came out, it was on a school night and we were staying at my Nana's because we stayed all week long. And my mom's like, all right, it's starting. So we went down and we watched this movie, mostly for my sister. But at the time, I was like, this is a really good movie, right? Like, I really enjoyed watching it then. And the second one came out and we did the same thing. We watched it and then the third one. So it does soft spot in my heart, but at the same time, I absolutely hate those movies now. So
they're so bad. I
They're
cannot
so
stand
bad.
them.
They're
together.
yeah, it's just they're such a classic. Babysitting somebody years ago, like maybe 7 years ago, they had no idea what High School Musical was, and I was shocked.
But they see a picture of Zac Efron, they're like, "Oh, Zac Efron." You're like, "I knew Zac Efron when he looked like Lucas."
No joke, man. Talk about the Bieber haircut still.
The Bieber cut.
Yeah. I think that was the first. Was it the first like Disney live action musical much?
That's a good
It's
question.
very much.
Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Nice, yeah, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Anything else on your number
Anything
4?
else? You got a favorite song?
All of them. I love all. I can. I mean, I can quote the movie. I don't know. I just.
Well, of course.
When we were still in the old house, Jared and Courtney came over for dinner one night, brought their karaoke machine. Well, Jared and I were just going through music, and we pulled up High School Musical, and her and Courtney just were going crazy.
Bop to the top.
Bop, 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 do.
Ashley Tisdale. Yeah. And I mean, all of those people, they were in several movies after that. You know, you've got Ashley Tisdale, Zac Efron. You know him today.
He
Vanessa
blew up.
Hudgens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good looking man. But yes, he blew up. Not literally.
Michael. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Didn't he play Troy Bolt?
I think that was the start for a lot of them, a lot of their careers, but they went on to other movies. And they talked a lot about the director. I have no idea what his name is now, but he was a big part of that time, 2006. He did a lot, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I believe you.
Your research is impeccable.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know anything else.
Colton doesn't want to know the facts. Colton. 4.
Well, I'm going to reach into the archives as well and go to a movie from the 2000 year.
The year 2000?
The year 2000.
Okay. Nice.
I like this one mostly because of two characters who are almost in every scene together.
Okay.
It's about a journey.
A journey. Mm-hmm. I like journeys.
The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, nice.
You know, David Spade, John Goodman, I believe this is Goodman's first go with voice acting in the Disney / Pixar universe.
Nice.
Because we mostly know him as Sully from Monsters Inc.
Yes.
So I believe this is I believe this is his first voiceover for Walt Disney. But anywho, I thought David Spade was great. I love their banters back and forth the whole time. And then the one key nugget that I really, really appreciate is I think every time this character was on the screen, they stole the scene. They were the best, and that was Kronk.
Of course.
Patrick Warburton. That was my first introduction to him, and his voice is just so iconic now because he's Joe Swanson now in Family Guy, and like,
hey Peter,
like his mannerisms are just fantastic. Yes. I think he's a really good actor personally, because I loved him in a series of unfortunate events on Netflix, the live action TV series. I loved him in that. Like, I think he's just fantastic, and this is my first introduction to him, and he just played that lovable oof, and he's the one who gets the spin-offs from the movie franchises, which I thought was fantastic. But that's probably because they couldn't get Spade and Goodman to commit to movies.
Such a great voice too.
He does. He's got a fantastic voice. So that one's not really has a lot of songs other than the first one. I thought that was great. It's just a fun movie. Just a fun movie. So
for sure.
That's why it's my number 4.
I think they turned it into a show at one point, right?
Probably.
I think so.
I think it was with Kronk being the leader of the squirrels or whatever they were, whatever the little kids club they were. He taught him to speak squirrels. Squeak, 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 squeaky, squeak, squeak.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was my favorite. Definitely my favorite.
Good number.
What about you, Gunnar?
I couldn't have pulled that one. I mean,
You're welcome.
I haven't even thought about it. 94. A movie that we all love.
Do we? How do you know?
Yes, I know we all love this movie because it's The Lion King. I feel like it's a movie you can't miss as a kid, right? Like, I mean, as a kid, we were all Disney fans. I know we watched a lot of Disney movies, but I don't know. I always enjoyed The Lion King, because of the coming of age kind of story for Simba, um, be trying to become king, I guess, and making his way back home after his father's death and all this stuff. I love the characters: Timon, Pumbaa, Simba, Nala, everybody, Mufasa. Scar is probably one of my favorite Disney villains. I love Scar. Um, I love all the little Easter eggs with Scar. I can't remember what movie it is that he's a rug. What movie is that?
I know that movie,
Is
and
it-
it's in my top 5. I will
Okay.
bring that up later.
Okay. Yeah, just overall enjoyable. You got so many moments that you can recall just by thinking about the movie. Simba being lifted up on top of the Pride Rock, and just moments, the songs. I couldn't even name my favorite song. What's your favorite song from Lion King, Sarah?
Oh, I just can't wait to be.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Colton, favorite song from Lion King?
Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Very nice.
And I
Both
think
great songs.
watching it as a kid versus watching it as an adult is so different, because the first scene, or not the first scene, but when Simba's dad dies, I didn't think that was really anything as a kid, but as an adult, when I rewatched it, like, holy cow, he was murdered.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to like watch it back and see that, isn't it?
Mind blowing. So sad. It is such a sad scene.
Sarah, you cry?
I cried. I did. I always cry.
That's
It's
the game
fine.
we're gonna play. That's the game we're gonna play. Sarah, did you
cry during the Emperor's New Groove?
No, I didn't. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I did like Kronk. But it's fine. I did not cry though. It's one movie I did not cry watching. But I
Okay.
think, yeah, it's just such a sad scene. And as a little kid, he has to watch his dad die. Like he's there and he thinks he did it. And so he runs away because he thinks that he killed his own dad.
The Star Wars moment with him seeing his Force Ghost dad too, which is pretty cool. No, I love Lion King. I mean, I just, yeah, great movie. Oh, terrible live action remake, by the way. Let me just hit on that.
Okay.
Let me just
Nice
hit on
little
that.
slide in there.
I talked about it with the Beauty and the Beast, so I had to say something about it for Lion
That's a
King.
good point. That's a good point. Okay,
Nicht-
Sarah, number
nicht
3.
gut.
You guys aren't gonna like this, but it's fine. My number 3, there were also songs in it. It is the Lizzie McGuire movie. Colton's
Oh my
face.
gosh. If I,
It is
I-
such a good movie. Okay.
I remember my sisters watching that movie and me instantly leaving. But I have
Oh, yeah.
seen it all the way through maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Not
it
in one
was,
sitting.
you wouldn't understand it if you didn't really watch the show, I feel. Like if you didn't know who the
Oh, I
characters
watched the show.
were.
Yeah.
That was the one. That
thank
was the
you.
one where she had like the little animated self, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
she-
she like that was her her subconscious was
Yeah.
Mhm.
viewed as a animated character.
Yeah. I mean, it was early 2000s, so I mean, you know how those shows were, but the movie, so good. So good. I mean, it starts with her graduating, you can relate to that. Everyone graduates, and then they like take a tour of Italy, France, like all of this, and they get love of her life. Probably not actually love of
I
her
thought it was
life, but
I thought it was in Rome.
okay, it is in Rome. Okay, it's Rome.
Okay.
Yes. And
I hate this movie, but I will tell you everything about this movie.
it's so good. Okay, the songs, fabulous. Music. I remember growing up, we had the CD to like the soundtrack to this whole movie, and we would listen to it constantly. Great movie. I could quote it.
I do like Lizzie McGuire had an album came out and maybe the early 2000s, maybe 2009. I don't know, but the album was actually really good.
Was it Lizzie McGuire or Hilary Duff?
Oh
Hilary Duff is the actress.
yeah, Hilary Duff.
We're learning stuff here on the
Wow.
call, guys.
Wow. Yeah, I was more of a Nick.
Who's Hannah
oh,
Montana?
Nickelodeon, yeah. the most beautiful. No, besides the one sitting next to me.
That's right.
I was more of a Nickelodeon kid than a Disney kid growing up for shows until shows like Phineas and Ferb and like Disney XD came out, and I was like,
That's when I
yeah.
stopped watching Disney.
Okay, gotcha. Lizzie McGuire movie.
Lizzie McGuire movie.
Hilary Duff. Yeah, she was in that new
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. Colton, number 3.
My number 3 goes to, man, I can't believe this movie is already 8 years old. Man. Kind of an interesting movie. I took it as a what if scenario, like what if World War II went differently is what I went through in my mind. And what if the attack on Pearl Harbor was really successful? And what if the Axis won World War II? And this movie is Big Hero 6.
Oh, yes.
Because it's San Francisco, but it's all kind of Japanese version, which I thought was a great take on it. I liked it. It was interesting. But that's the first thing I thought of was, man, what if we lost World War II? That's the first thing I thought of when I watched this movie.
Wow.
I know. Just far out there. I know.
Dude, that's
weird. But anyway,
such a good emotional movie.
It is. Of course. The storyline is fantastic. It tugs at the heartstrings, I feel like, at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie, and really during the climax of the movie, of the big fight at the end, it comes back at you again. Like, I feel like this is just a very emotional movie. So Baymax might go down as one of the most adorable characters. Fa la 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 la. I do that with my kid. We do Nux, and I go boom, and I go fa la 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 la, and he just swings at me again with his fist.
Yep.
He hasn't quite figured it out yet, but we're working on it. T.J. Miller was in it. He was probably one of my favorite characters, like side characters that came in. Really, I think he's just funny, and I didn't know that was him for the longest time until I was watching like Deadpool and
he was the long-haired guy, right?
He was Fred.
Yeah, that's right.
Sign flipper, sign twirler by day, and mutant crime fighting dragon by night. I can't remember what he said.
So good.
But he had Stanley as his dad.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Stanley looks like him. Looks a lot like him. But no, just a great movie. That connection with his brother through the whole thing, and how he fights with changing Baymax to be a killing machine instead of really what he was put on the earth to do, from what his brother wanted him to be. Like, that conflict through the whole time was really good. And then you get Baymax given the fist pump at the end to get him out of the portal, and like it's just a really, really emotional movie.
Sarah's tearing up right now.
No.
I believe it.
No, I think that connection with his brother, that was what really made me sob the most, I think, because his brother built this robot, and cutest little thing I've ever seen. Yeah, like you said, he can go from an adorable little guy to a machine, like you said. I think that was genius. Everyone should have a little buddy like that, I think. Maybe not the killing machine part, but and it helped him. It helped him move on, because wasn't his brother's death like, it was very sudden. I can't remember. It's been a while since.
Yeah, so there was a fire in the at the expo, and his brother went back in to help save people, and the building blew up. And come to find out that Callahan, the professor of the school that he was going to, started everything, and everything could have been avoided. And that really, once Hero finds that out, is that everything could have been avoided. It pushes him further to make Baymax into a fighting machine, and it takes him to the end of the movie, of course, to figure out like, oh crap, this is not what Baymax was put here to do.
Fighting machine. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So Big Hero 6, number 3. What's yours?
Good.
What's your number 3, man?
1992 movie that we've talked about on this podcast multiple times, multiple episodes. We've talked about an actor in this podcast and how influential he was to us. Snake Plissken, one of his favorite actors of all time. Snake Plissken actually mentioned this movie when he talked about this actor, and that is Aladdin, of course. It's I don't know what else to say about it other than we talk about it because it is that good of a movie. Things are great. The magic carpet is something as a kid you saw and you're like, that would just be so cool to be able to just fly like that on a carpet and just soar through, go wherever you want to go. See the world. He could show me the world. Sarah, you could show me the world on a magic carpet. I always love the characters. Aladdin, obviously. Jasmine, great character. Jafar, great villain. I love that really one of the big characters in the movie is the cave.
Cave of Wonder.
Cave. Yeah, the Cave of Wonder. That's amazing. The animation of that is amazing. I mean, it doesn't really hold up as much now to some things that they do, but like for the time, it's just really cool. I don't know. I like the time period. I like Aladdin and his struggles and using his wishes in a way that most people probably wouldn't. He's kind of selfish at first, but then figures out that he can do it the right way and finds loopholes that he can do things, and just an interesting way to look at it. And it's always been a movie I can watch. Once again, another poor live action remake. What? Go ahead.
Yeah. I love how when he first realizes that he has the wishes, he asks the genie, "What would you wish for?" And the genie's like, no one's ever asked me that. I have no idea. I think that really speaks to his character, shows that he's humane. He's a real person. He's not selfish, and he wants good for the world. But I also agree, the live action movie, terrible.
And it's kind of crazy because like the first time I learned this fact was earlier this year. We were watching Full House or something. For some reason we were watching Full House, and Steve from Full House actually voiced Aladdin in the animated movie. And then in Full House, when they go to Disney, DJ sees Aladdin as Steve. So it's kind of a cool like wow, that's pretty amazing. But just a little fun fact. So if you're watching Full House and you see Aladdin, go watch Aladdin and hear the guy that played Steve in Full House use his voice. So did you know that, Colton? You probably knew.
No.
Oh.
I vaguely watched Full House.
Gotcha. Nice.
And now when you go on to Disney Plus and you click to watch Aladdin, at the very beginning, it says there's a message that pops up about the stereotypes that were made in this movie. I think that's awesome that they address it. They're like, hey, just keep in mind, these stereotypes are not real. It was made during this time period. And I think that was really awesome that they did that. I think they did that with a few different movies that were made kind of during that time period.
Yeah, I mean, big movements between 1992
Yeah.
and now. So, I mean, and Disney does a good job of trying to cover everything that they, in that time period. It wasn't necessarily bad to have that on screen. Now it's different. So we don't get into politics here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should digress from that soon because I could go down my
no rabbit holes tonight.
Yeah, it'd be a terrible rabbit hole to go down because some big hills to die on for me on that.
Yeah. So hey, that's my number 3, Sarah. Got a question about your number 2.
I think you know the answer.
Does it make you cry? Animal Time, is that your answer?
Just about. I think, have you ever watched a movie with me where I have not cried?
We were literally finishing the Santa Clauses, and I look over at her, and she's in tears, and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "What was the point in this whole show? He just became." Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
It was cute. They touched my heart. Okay, that's
Yeah.
of shows and movies is to touch your soft spot. So I cry because I have a soft spot. Gunner, do you have a soft spot?
My brother hit me in the head with a golf club when I was little, and soft spots are right here.
My number 2 does in fact make me cry. It doesn't make me up, but I do tear up because it is Meet the Robinsons. It's a good.
Oh, interesting.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
It's funny. The dinosaur, hilarious. And I think I cry because like they have quotes from Walt Disney at the very end.
Time travel? Time travel?
Yes, Gunner, shut up. Let your wife
Okay.
talk.
There, his main quote that, at the very end, his son is like, you've got that quote in your head. It's keep moving forward. And that's always what Walt Disney said. Like when he had a plan and his plan didn't go through all the way, just keep moving forward. And I think that quote even landed in Finding Nemo
Just
a little
keep
bit,
swimming.
different. Yeah.
That's Pixar. Can't talk about that.
Backtrack.
I'm kidding. Yes, you can.
And I think I think the part that touched me is that they made it so they related it to Walt Disney himself. I think that was a really good tie-in. We have a guest star.
Yeah, she's sleeping. Yeah, no, great.
Mhm.
Very,
It is.
very good.
Probably the only time travel movie I like. I'm just kidding.
That's so true, though.
Sarah, listen,
Sorry, buddy.
I'm gonna tell you something. No, be excellent to each other, and just keep swimming.
Oh my.
All right, Cold. Does your number 2 make you cry?
Not a bit. Not a bit.
Oh wait, did I switch up the order? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, you didn't. You
Okay,
kept
okay, I
it.
didn't
You
think
kept
so.
it.
Okay.
No, my number 2 is Aladdin.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay, I know you guys talked about it a little bit. I'm going to talk on some of the points. I love I think this is one of Robin Williams' greatest movies.
Mhm.
How they got him to do all 3, I don't know how. I'm sure there is a documentary out there somewhere. I'm sure somebody is going to email us at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com and let me know. But that is why this movie was so good, was because of Robin Williams.
Yes.
What he was able to do with that character. And I felt like they just gave him the reins to do whatever and say, hey, this is where we want it to start. This is where we want this scene to end. We don't care how you get there as long as you get there. And Robin Williams fashion made his own path to get from point A to point B. And to me, that's just what makes this movie. And I'll say this about the live action movie. I'm not going to try to sound as an apologist or say it is a good movie, because I don't think it's a good movie. But when I first watched that movie, I was watching for the genie, Will Smith, and going off of, if how he is in this movie will be if this movie is good or not. And
Yeah.
I left the theater after I watched it and I said, Will Smith was the only good thing in this movie. And I'm not saying that makes it a good movie. That does not make it a good movie at all, because it's not. But Will Smith as his version of the genie, I thought was fantastic.
You did a great job.
I thought and that was the only thing I liked about that movie was Will Smith's genie. So,
Yeah.
and I know that live action gets a lot of flack, and it should, but I think a lot more goes unsaid because not too many folks think that. I don't think that that Will Smith did a good job as the genie because it wasn't like Robin Williams. And I think that's what made Robin Williams so good, is that he was Robin Williams and Will Smith was Will Smith.
Yeah, it made it his own.
Yeah. And I think that was the one thing I was hoping, because I kept telling myself, like, as soon as he starts sounding or doing a Robin Williams bit, I think I'm just going to get mad and think it sucks and it's terrible. And he stuck true to his guns, and he was the only good character in that whole live action movie.
Yeah.
He brought his own spin to it. He brought his own
Yeah.
personality to it. And it wasn't Robin Williams, him trying to be Robin. He was his own self. And I think
Mhm.
he did a very, very good job of doing that.
Yep. And and like I said, the movie is terrible, but that was the only character I liked in that movie.
Yeah.
Friend Like Me, best song.
Yeah.
My kid, I've got Disney hits when we go from daycare to the house, and Friend Like Me comes on, and he's got this little fist pump that he does that he's dancing to, and oh my gosh, it's just absolutely adorable. You guys have seen him when he dances and he's all excited. That song is blaring and he's just going crazy. It's absolutely adorable.
Nice.
So
very nice.
So yeah, Aladdin, for a lot of the same reasons as for Snake. I mean, it's just a fantastic movie. Rags to Riches, The Cave of Wonder. What would you do if you had 3 wishes? Like, it's
Exactly.
just, I love that. I watch that movie all the time. That was like one of the one of the VHSs. I made sure I rewound every time after watching it. So then that way, when I wanted to watch it again, I didn't have to sit there with the rewind machine and put it in there and do that and then start all over. I know, Gunner. Let's go get it out.
What's a VHS?
I know. I remember one time my dad made us rewind all of his movies one time. Yeah. That was punishment.
Oh, if you didn't rewind it, you got in trouble.
Oh yeah.
That was our thing. You got in trouble.
We didn't get in trouble. We just couldn't watch the movie because my parents wouldn't rewind
Oh,
it.
must
for
be
us.
nice.
Yeah, we just
Must be
wouldn't.
nice.
Okay.
It's almost like you grew up in a house full of girls. That's weird.
Odd.
Man.
It's nice. It was nice. No boys, except my dad.
Boys
Gunner.
will be boys.
Gunner.
What's up?
You're number 2. Does it make you cry?
I'm gonna cry just thinking about. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, no, it does not.
Ooh.
But it is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is a movie that we've talked about on this podcast at least 2 different episodes. It's made a list of mine. And
Waterworld.
I couldn't not put it in this list. Because, and this is the only live action on my list, correct? Yes, it's the only live action. 1992, Emilio Estevez, The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Not put it on. I mean, I couldn't not put it on the list.
I mean, that's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Not too many people think about Disney in live action.
Yeah. Mary Poppins. I mean, think about so many movies that are live action that Disney has done. But The Mighty Ducks is my number 2. We've talked about it so many times. The story, the high to low to high for Gordon Bombay, being a hockey player as a kid and playing Pee Wee, and then going to play in an actual collegiate level, and then getting injured and then having to go coach a Pee Wee hockey team.
Court ordered,
of course, for drinking and driving.
Dewey.
Yep, you got Dewey hard. But then you fall in love with the characters, Charlie, and if I could remember all of the other ones, Fulton Reed. There's so many fun characters. It's so cheesy and funny. Makes you really want to go play hockey, to be honest. And I never played hockey, so I just want to try.
Have you been ice skating?
One time. We actually talked about doing that this year, so maybe we're gonna do that.
I was gonna say Fort Wayne. We got a couple places up here. We can do it out. There's an outdoor rink and then there's an indoor rink.
Yeah, we should do that.
I enjoy it. It's
set a date.
That could have been like if I didn't, growing up in Bourbon, there's only so many things. But I think if I would have grew up like here, I think I would have probably tried soccer and hockey.
Yeah. Would have been up there for me too. I always loved playing soccer, but I think I could have gotten good at hockey if I would have been able to play it. But yeah, the Mighty Ducks.
Nice. Solid movie. Solid movie. Sarah, honorable mentions.
HMs.
Rattle them off.
Give us the list.
I've got a lot. I have
That's okay.
a ton. And I had to narrow down my list. Let's just say that.
That's okay.
So I've got the Goofy movie, different
Oh,
from the extremely Goofy movie.
great.
Atlantis
One of the great soundtracks.
soundtrack.
We listened to Eye to Eye. William bumping in the back seat.
Oh, of
Bumping.
course, of course. I've got Atlantis, also Big Hero 6, made into my honorable mentions. Camp, Narnia, Confession of a Teenage Drama Queen, Kim Possible, So the Drama, Tangled, which is Sydney's favorite Disney movie, Pocahontas, Zootopia, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh, Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think about that one.
Yeah.
I love those movies. I love
So
them. I love
good.
them. I love
so
them.
good.
Very good. I like your list. Mine. I had Atlantis: Lost Empire. I want them to make that into a live action movie so fucking bad it's not even funny. They could do so well with that. So well.
Well, yeah.
So well. And I don't think they ever will. Another one I really love is The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
I've said this once, I said it 1,000 times. I love jazz music, and that movie is all jazz, and the soundtrack to that movie is great. Got a great story that goes with it too. Another lost Disney movie, Treasure Planet.
Mm-hmm.
Not one that you think of, but yes.
Nope.
So good.
That one got swept under the rug there. Don't know what came out. That'd probably be a good podcast episode. Movies that got overshadowed.
Movies that got overshadowed.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be a tough one to probably keep track of, but anywho. And then the last is Dumbo, the original.
Dumbo.
That movie has always been a touchy, feel-good movie to me for the relationship he has with his mother at the very beginning. You want to talk? I cry at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
And last but not least is The Fox and the Hound, another movie that I cry in. So those would be my honorable mentions.
Unfortunately, my computer died, and I had my list of honorable mentions on there. But I'll go through my list here and see. For some reason, my doc didn't save on my phone.
Nice.
I did have Raya and the Last Dragon, a newer movie, and Sarah and I had watched that together, and I actually really enjoyed it. Surprisingly,
Good for you.
I wouldn't say it was the best Disney movie ever, but I just thought it had a really cool story to it.
A little strange.
Yeah,
but good.
Frozen, of course. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with watching Frozen, and I feel like, there's only a few characters that make you really want to watch Frozen, and you get Olaf and Sven, and I always enjoyed. Tangled's great. I mean, we've watched it together a couple times, I think, Sarah, and I've always enjoyed it. I can't remember what all I had on there. I think I might have had Lilo and Stitch on there, Mulan.
Lilo and Stitch is a good one.
Yeah, just movies you can't go wrong with. Tarzan was the first one I had listed. That's right. Nice.
Tarzan. Phil Collins. That's probably one of the first times I had ever heard a composer. I guess you'd put him as that. He was the composer for the movie. Like, that's the first time I ever heard a composer like him being like brought up about how well the soundtrack for the movie was growing up as a kid. Because I was like, who cares? Like, it's Tarzan. Like, I don't care about the guy making the music.
Yeah.
His
Man,
voice.
intense movie too when you rewatch it now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
As an adult, the scene where
Yes.
Clayton dies. Oh my gosh, the shadow. Kids should not watch that.
But as a kid, you
You
noticed it.
didn't know. I had no idea. Watching it as an adult, it's so different.
Clayton.
Mhm. Yeah.
Good movie. All right, Sarah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. I need to
I have a hunch. I think I know who it is.
bring out
Drop his bag.
the prop. My number one, of course, is Beauty and the Beast. And yeah. I have a lot to say. I don't even know. I have a lot to say about the movie. It's just a phenomenal movie. I remember in high school, this is gonna make me sound really, really lame, but weekends, weekdays, it was always like the middle of winter. I remember I would get on my fuzzy PJs and have a cup of hot cocoa, and I would just like put a face mask on and watch Beauty and the Beast. It was always something that I could watch growing up. I can quote the movie. I always feel like I can relate in different ways. Growing up, I related to the movie, and as an adult, I can relate. And I think it was the best live action movie ever made. I must say that. Cinderella, I know that I think that was like the first live action movie they made. I think it was so overdone. You've got the one with A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. You've got the one with Selena Gomez. You've got Lucy Hale in one. It was done in so many different ways so often that I think it kind of just, people are like, oh yeah, Cinderella Story. But Beauty and the Beast, the way that they did the live action movie, I think was so well done. They really brought the magic to life in that movie, and they changed things in the movie a little bit, but for the better, to make it more modern and everything. And I think my favorite scene was when Belle was getting her standard yellow dress on for the ball, and they took little pieces of gold from the room and they put it on her dress, and that was just, I think, the best moment ever in the whole movie, because it really helped to bring the magic of the whole place to life. That's my number one.
Be our guest. Be our guest.
Yeah.
Put our service to the test.
And so many movies after that, I think, tried to make the live action. I know we've already talked about it, but Aladdin, horrible. Mulan, they tried to redo, horrible. Trying to think what else. Ariel, they tried to do Broadway, terrible. But that movie, so beautifully well done.
Don't believe me? Ask the dishes.
Try the gray stuff. It's delicious.
Very nice, number Sarah.
Very nice. I like that number one. It's a
Thank you.
solid one. Can't argue it. You could,
Yeah.
obviously, but
She's number 5 before we started recording and goes, that's my number 1.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, I didn't know your list and you weren't supposed to know your number 1.
Sorry. Yeah.
it's true.
Okay. Colton,
Them's the rules.
them's the rules.
Them's the rules. All right, so we're going to call back to earlier in the night when Gunnar was talking about the Lion King movie. And he said that Scar was actually used as a little Easter egg in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And I can't
That
remember which one
movie
it
is my number one movie.
Okay. You're gonna
Can
say
you
it, I'm
think
gonna
of
be like,
it?
You're
What?
gonna say it, I'm gonna be like, oh, yep. I can't think of it.
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
Can see
Hercules.
Was Hercules.
No way.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
He's being
Yes.
painted. It's after one of the song montages of oh bless my soul, Herc was on a roll. He's defeating all the monsters that Hades is throwing after him. He's in his house, and he's being painted by a sculptor person, and he's going, and something about paint gets on him or something like that. Oh, paint gets on DeVito's character, Danny DeVito's character.
That just ruined your childhood or picture.
Oh,
What?
God.
Scarred the rug.
Oh, the rug. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely fantastic.
Great movie.
Phil. Yeah, Phil.
Phil.
He's got the clown makeup on, and he
Mhm.
takes a rug from the floor, and it's scarred because you could actually see the little scar on his eye.
You can, I mean, his full body.
Yeah, it's his full body. Like you can't say like you don't know. I don't know how you can't say how that's not Scar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, love the songs in that movie. I feel like the songs get you through that movie, and they just do they also tell the story of the movie via those songs and how he's trying.
The female choir.
The muses,
Yeah.
muses were fantastic. I think if they live action this Hercules, that'd be another great live action Disney movie they can make.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they don't want to make it. I don't know why. Don't want to make money, apparently.
Who would you want to play Hades besides Willem Dafoe? Because that would be great.
James Woods.
Okay.
He voiced Hades.
I know, but
No, not Willem Dafoe. You go James Woods.
just
You put DeVito as Phil, and you put James Woods
Well, yeah.
as Hades.
Yeah. How about
That's it.
Hercules?
Don't care. Figure it out. Figure it out,
Sarah's
Disney.
about to say Zac Efron. I saw the Z in your like your
Oh
pursing
my
your lips. I was like,
gosh.
she's
I was
gonna
like-
say Zac Efron.
Who is a very attractive man? Zac Efron.
Yeah, dude is like 5 foot nothing. Hercules needs to be at least 6'6".
Hey, you don't. You just gotta have the muscles and good looking and know how to
I mean,
sing.
you can make anybody look however tall they can be on camera.
Yeah, but I know he's short. That's the problem.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that would make another great live action movie. Like I said, the music in it is fantastic. The story of him growing up to what he believes he needs to get to be a god, and that journey he takes when really that's not what it was about, what he thought it took to become a god. And it's just a fantastic movie. I love James Wood in it. Is fantastic. I love DeVito in it.
Man, who would play Meg?
You know,
This is the things you got to think about, man. Like, who would you have play Meg?
that's not my job.
I know. Some casting director out there would be like, this would be a great Meg, and they would choose the wrong person.
For sure, they would. I would want them. I actually think I would want them to get the muses casting right.
Yeah.
They were so good.
Because they also tell the story with them.
Yeah.
And I think that I think it'd just be great.
They're pretty much your narrators.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, they are the narrators, I think.
Yeah.
And in school, middle school or high school, I don't remember what, but we learned about Greek gods and goddesses. And honestly, the only thing that came to my mind was Hercules, the movie Hercules, because they talk about it. Talk about Africa. They talk about all of the gods and goddesses there in the.
Fat Russell Crowe.
I can't think of.
No. Come on, Sarah. You know it.
I know. Starts with a Z.
Zeus. Fat Russell Crowe. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Don't say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great. It's it is definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. So
I do gotta ask you a question, because at our Christmas party at the Schaefer's, Bree said something about Encanto. Now, I don't know if she was joking or if she was telling the truth that it was one of your favorites.
I really like the music in that movie. It's that is another movie that this goes to my love for music, but I love when a movie can be told through the music.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Broadway show. And I just love those movies so much. And that's what I feel like with Encanto. And one of my favorite songs, I can't tell you the name of it, but it's the song they sing in Spanish at the end of the movie when they're having the flashback of how the candle was brought to life, essentially. And I love that song because I may not understand it, but I can feel the words, and I don't, it's just something, it's like feeling the music and the words go through that scene, and you don't necessarily have to understand it, but you can feel it and you understand the pain and what's going on there. And it's just, to me, it made that scene when they were singing it that way than singing it in English. I thought it would have ruined the scene, but how they did it was just fantastic, and I thought it was a great call. The dude from Hamilton, that made Hamilton, he's the dude who was the composer for this movie, that movie. It's got like 3 names. I can't think of his name right now.
Hamilton's also a Disney product, isn't it? It's licensed by Disney.
Ooh, no, it's a Broadway show. Don't care.
I think
Don't care.
They did some sort
I
of.
will. Hamilton. It's just another show on the list. Just because it says more words than every other Broadway show doesn't make it better. Okay, it does not.
I love Broadway. Sarah took me. Well, actually, I took Sarah to my first traveling Broadway show, which was Les Mis. Beautiful.
Les Mis.
That would have been a great one to see.
So good.
We went. The wife and I went and saw Anastasia.
Nice.
Fantastic. I would go see it again.
That's a Disney movie that's not on Disney Plus.
Well, I don't
know that it was.
I don't think it's a Disney movie is the problem.
I know there's been some issues with getting it onto Disney Plus because I know Disney wants it to be. I think it's a Disney movie, but maybe they didn't have.
I think it's a
rights.
DreamWorks movie.
It's probably DreamWorks.
But I think doesn't Disney own DreamWorks or
They do, yeah.
It's because it's
But
everything going
it's-
on with Russia and
well, it's I mean there are some historical, I don't want to say this as like gospel, but there are some historical figures and people that they do bring up in this movie, and I know that the Russian folks aren't too keen on them looking like this and having this be a used as propaganda or whatever you want to put it as.
Yeah.
I always want to watch that movie, but it's so hard to find. You can't watch it anywhere.
Nope.
It's so good.
It's on Stars right now. If
There
you
you
want to
go.
watch it.
Okay, she's gonna come home. She's gonna be watching Anastasia.
So, but yeah, Anastasia, great. Yeah, that's a sidebar of the sidebar. But,
Sidebar.
I feel like
But yeah.
seeing it live would be.
it was
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So, but yeah, sidebar of the sidebar. Hercules. Great.
Sidebar away. Let me pop number 1, and we're not having a
Let's hear it.
discussion on it because we've already talked about it, which is unfortunate because we overlapped a lot on this episode. It's okay. It's okay. We did a really good job. Sarah, you did a really good job.
Thank you.
But my number 1 is Moana. Now, I'll give you some backstory on why this is my number 1. It's a movie that I never thought I'd like, so I never watched it. I was like, I'm not gonna like that movie. Like,
Okay.
I didn't really watch a lot of Disney movies until I started dating Sarah.
I believe that.
I
You don't
just
like
never-
animated movies.
Not a huge fan. I love animation. I love the idea of animation. I don't sit and watch a lot of animated movies. Sarah changed that for me. I did watch a lot of Disney growing up. Obviously, my VHS tapes and we had so many movies on VHS, and we watched a lot of Disney. But the newer age Disney movies, there are so many good ones. I mean, I think they're doing a really good job of keeping the flow of actually having decent quality animated films. And when Sarah and I first started dating, which actually I think is the same year that this movie came out, right?
2016.
Yep.
Mhm.
She made me watch it, and I enjoyed it. Like, overly enjoyed the movie. I think that animation wise, The Rock is Maui. Like, there's so many good things that this movie brings to the table. And once again, I didn't think I was gonna like it. She showed it to me. I really enjoyed it, and since it was on her list, I'm not gonna dive too deep into it. But yeah, I love the story of the island. I think it's amazing. So
Great number 1.
I'm shocked. I had no idea that you're number 1.
Me too. I was definitely not thinking that.
Moana. I could have put Frozen up there. I really love Frozen.
Frozen. Which one is better, Frozen 1 or Frozen 2?
I think Frozen 1 just for the pure, like, it was such a popular movie, but 2 was a great story.
No, Colton.
One
shaking
all
his
the
head.
way. One all the way.
I mean, I do love
Hands down, one.
You didn't
Hands
like
down,
2?
one. Not a big fan, no.
music was good.
Eh. You could only catch lightning so many times out of a bottle. Okay.
That's true. And the first one was a lot of lightning.
Let It Go. Let It Go will go down as one of the greatest Disney songs ever.
Agreed.
It will. And I think they tried to recreate that magic. And I don't like that. When I don't like that. I just wish they would try for something completely I felt like they were trying to mimic too much from the first movie.
Yeah.
And I was just like, go original. Go somewhere else. I thought to me, but I'm tough on movies, and I just felt like it had too much of the first movie in some places in some major plot points.
Yeah.
Where I was like, yeah, we could go somewhere else.
I think one of the best plot points to the whole second movie is Christoph. Is that his name?
The man?
Yeah. Him trying to propose to Anna.
I think a lot of guys
like,
can relate.
Yeah.
Anybody who's married can relate to that time.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to figure out how to do it and how you want to do it, and
And their
yeah.
relationship was like everybody's actual relationship, like arguing all the time, and like
We don't argue.
we actually don't argue. Right
I
now,
believe
but
that. I've seen you guys.
True love.
True love's first kiss. Well, guys, you both had great lists, and this has been really fun.
I had a fun
episode.
time. Sarah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your night to join us in our shenanigans.
Yeah.
Now you really know what it's like when we record an episode.
Yeah, thanks for traveling all the way out here to do it.
Yeah, safe travels. I want you to get home safely. Text us when you get home.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Watch for deer.
Yeah.
That's right.
Give the puppy a kiss when you go to bed.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
That's funny.
Disney
that's
has
what-
been, it's been my whole life. It's been what I grew up on. I mean, I grew up in Orlando, and my mom worked for Disney. She worked in customer service, like answering phones and stuff. So it was my whole childhood. I mean, Gunnar grew up on rock bands and weird films. I grew up on Disney. So this was
Weird films.
Wow,
That's
thank you.
great. I
Thank
love
you.
that.
I guess. Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
I was with my mom the other day, and she asked me, she's like, what would you do? Like, how would you feel about these Disney movies if Disney, like Orlando Disney, was not a part of your childhood? And I honestly didn't know how to answer that. I was like, I have no idea, because I grew up with that. We went to Disney, we went to the parades, we had that feeling growing up as children, we loved it growing up. And when we went back, it was a whole different experience, but still the magic was there, when we went back to Disney. And she's like, how would you feel if you never did that as a kid? But I have no idea. Probably wouldn't like it as much, but I would still like it. But that was my whole childhood. So it's good to express that.
Nice.
Yeah, I could see that.
Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, you guys got anything else you want to add on Disney? Any other films that you thought of while we've been talking?
I mean, no. What I really want to hear from the listeners and their top 5 or their
yeah.
favorite 3 or just all time favorite Disney movie. Hit us up at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
I think the hardest part was figuring out which movies are actually Disney and which are Disney Pixar.
Oh my gosh, I made a list. I made one list. My first list, top 5, just ripped them off like boom, 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 boom. 3 of them Pixar, and I was like,
Yep.
This sucks.
There's so many that you don't think of that are classic Disney movies, but that are also Disney Pixar movies.
Well, and if we do Pixar theory, we sit there and we talk about, all the different connections and stuff. Maybe we go back and do a top 5 Disney Pixar, just Pixar movies too. So
Yeah, I figured we hit that up because I
Yeah.
mean the Pixar theory is nice and nice and fun, but I mean I don't think there's enough to go there. I think we could probably squeeze a top 5 Pixar movie list.
Okay.
Easily.
all right, well, if you guys got nothing else, Sarah, you got my socials. No, I'm just kidding.
I would, but your computer's dead.
Yeah, my computer's dead, but you know what that means. I'm gonna do it off the top of my head, and I'm gonna do a great job at it.
Oh my gosh.
Unless Colton wants to do the socials.
I can't read them off the top of my head,
Okay,
but
all right.
you want me to pull up? I can pull up the email real quick.
That's all
No,
right.
it's actually changed. I think it's changed.
It has changed. So I got you right here, right now. Everybody, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys podcast. We do upload a video every single Monday when we post our podcast on all of your favorite podcast sites. You can find us on all your social media platforms, whether that be Facebook at facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram at thecallguys, and TikTok at thecallguyspodcast. If you do have any recommendations for the question of the podcast, future episodes, if you just want to send us your list, your top 5s, top 10s, please send us your top 5 list of Disney movies. And if you want to send anything else, you're more than welcome to. Cam has been sending us these emails that are just random out of nowhere, and I love them. So send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Also, make sure you go check out our merch store, thecallguyspodcaststore.com. And you can check out any of the other podcasts under the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts, whether that be the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast, the Murdnerds, the United States of Paranormal, or the Golden Image Podcast. You can go check all those out. And soon to come, beginning of next year, A Court of Books and Booze. Check them all out. Link trees, Facebook pages, all posted in the podcast notes. You can click there, and you can go check them all out. No paper. Not looking at a teleprompter. Got it all.
Look at you. Look at you go. Look at you go. I did think of something though.
Oh, dang. Look at
I did forget to say earlier in the episode.
Okay.
Going back to the Emperor, because I'm not tired. I'm not done with him yet.
And you know he listens to all these, so he gets all the way to the end, and he's ready. He's ready.
I know. Good. I got a little bit more for him. Okay, Emperor. Hey, just remember, any bozo can grow hair. It takes a real man to grow a forehead. Okay. So with that being said, the
Bald Guys podcast.
Yeah, Emperor. So if you want to come, you want to shout at the champ, you just let me know, boss.
If you smell what the wine is cooking. That's right. Bring that candy ass down here.
So
too good.
So yeah. Don't think that you go unheard. So last thing I want you to do is to think that you can slide on through here without being touched.
That's right, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. Sarah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Sarah. Sarah, seriously, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Never doing it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you have to come back for 52 now. That's
yeah, you're in.
Yes, you are. Everybody out there that is listening, if you want to be on FTT, send us an email. Let us know. We will book you. Colton and I are going to sit down one of these evenings, and we're going to make a list of who we need to get on when. We'll get a hold of you, schedule a time. All this is going to be pre-recorded weeks, whether it's a week or two ahead of time. We're going to try to get as many cut together as we can and just have some nice increments with all the guests on. So send us an email if you want to be on.
Sweet.
I want to thank you all for listening. One time.
Later.
Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4.